It was the second day of BRICS Summit, which is underway in South Africa. The plenary session of the summit concluded early in the day. The manner and nature of expansion of the grouping topped the agenda as all member state leaders expressed support for including more members. Beyond expansion, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for the BRICS group to establish a space exploration consortium. The Prime Minister shared India's experience with digital delivery of public goods and offered to share the learnings with BRICS nations. The Indian Prime Minister also recommended joint efforts in education, technology and skill assessment.
हम ब्रिक्स सैटेलाइट कॉन्स्टेलेशन पर पहले से काम कर रहे हैं। एक कदम आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम ब्रिक्स स्पेस एक्सप्लोरेशन कंसोर्टियम बनाने पर विचार कर सकते हैं। इसके अंतर्गत हम स्पेस रिसर्च, वेदर मॉनिटरिंग जैसे क्षेत्रों में ग्लोबल गुड के लिए काम कर सकते हैं। मेरा दूसरा सुझाव है शिक्षा, स्किल डेवलपमेंट और टेक्नोलॉजी में सहयोग। ब्रिक्स को एक फ्यूचर रेडी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाने के लिए हमें अपनी सोसाइटीज को फ्यूचर रेडी बनाना होगा।
Russian President Vladimir Putin called for a multipolar world order. At the same time, he also mentioned a range of topics like diversification of supply chain, de-dollarization and transfer to local currency. Putin also shared few details about next year's BRICS Summit, as Russia will host the next summit in October 2024 in the city of Kazan. Brazilian President Lula da Silva stressed on the need of a common currency used by BRICS countries in commercial transactions. Chinese President Xi Jinping discussed about the expansion of the BRICS. Xi said the group should expand political and security cooperation to uphold peace and tranquility, while adding that the members should support each other on our core interests and enhance coordination on major international and regional issues.
Artificial intelligence is a new frontier of development. Our 5 countries have agreed to launch the AI study group of BRICS Institute of Future Networks at an early date. We need to enable the study group to play its full role, further expand cooperation on AI, and step up information exchange and technological cooperation. We need to jointly fend off risks and develop AI governance frameworks.
And for more on this, we are now being joined by Ambassador Gurjit Singh from New Delhi. He is the former Indian ambassador to African Union and ASEAN. Ambassador, good to see you and thank you very much for joining us at this hour. The talk about expansion of the BRICS nation was also upheld today, and the member states did say that they will consider expanding the BRICS nation going forward. But also something that was discussed in the plenary was trade and currency. And we also had the Russian president talk about de-dollarization. When it comes to this issue about currency, do you think a common currency for the BRICS nation will work?
I do not think so. And neither do I think a common strategic perception going to work. Because I think more and more as time has gone by, the diversity of opinion within BRICS is immense. And I don't think that there is a common strategic perception of the world, nor a common economic perception of the world. So while I think India also would like to not be dependent on the dollar, I don't think we are ready to exchange that for a dependence on the yuan, for instance. But I think working on different currencies is possible, but a new monetary system I don't think is coming right now.
Ambassador, do you think the BRICS Bank should be expanded?
Well, the BRICS Bank already expanded by introducing 3 countries even before they were members of BRICS. So I'm not quite clear how the BRICS Bank is having a separate membership from BRICS. But certainly new members in BRICS must be able to sustain the bank by contributing and not only be looking for drawing from it. So yes, the new development bank must expand, but with contributors who will then help it to help the global south rather than those joining it purely with the intention of drawing from.
Ambassador, all the 5 countries in the BRICS had their proposals. We had leaders of these countries raise their proposals in the plenary. Which among the 5 countries' proposals stood out for you? We had Lula da Silva talking about climate. We had the Russian president talking about de-dollarization. We had Xi Jinping talking about education. We also had the Indian Prime Minister talking about space exploration. Which one stood out for you?
Well, you know, I think in the Indian Prime Minister's speech, there is a large component dealing with the global south. And to my mind, it is the global south which should be the focus of BRICS. We keep having these outreach events for Africa and other countries, and we have them again this time. But this should become more meaningful. We can't just keep having outreach without outdo. Something needs to be done. So therefore, I would like a focus on the global south, pursue it so that it can escape the clutches of big power rivalry and the economic downturn that has afflicted them. So we must look at the global south and how to deal with the SDGs achievement over there as the main reason why BRICS should pursue. Otherwise, we'll get bogged down in trying to entangle ourselves with the G7 and launch a competitive action.
All right, I've been talking to the former Indian ambassador to African Union and ASEAN, Ambassador Gurjit Singh. As always, thank you very much for your insights and for talking to WION World is One today. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.